right in the heart of soul.
This one is just a warning. It's just the Luigi warning. Luigi is, you got the news story about the guy, Luigi Mangione, who, basically shot a healthcare CEO, right? Well, I got to get this warning, period, because I think people don't understand the way it's going. So, and I brought this up before, because the courts is just an unfair shake. It is what it is. But because in some ways the courts are complicit because um they getting paid off of this because child support is a big business, and you got all of these things that are just in the favor majority of the time of mothers, right? But it's the other things that are involved. And I've said it before, some people being good with the judge, some people being cool with the clerk, some people being cool with cops that rough the fathers up or whatever. Some people, being cool with the child protective services people, or so many people in society covering for bad behavior. Let's just say that, and you're gonna start having people get targeted because people are starting to go outside of the system because the system isn't fair. So when you have situations where if you don't pay your child support or whatever, let's just use that as that. You don't pay your child support, you wind up in a situation where you're going to owe back child support, and you're going to owe the state, and you're going to owe interest, and they're not trying to hear it. They know what to do, and they're out to collect. But if you overpay, they don't know anything. Well, let's just move on to the next subject. You have the situation where you have family members assaulting people, or people making false allegations, whether it be physical assault, or some people fake sexual assault claims just to get what they want, and there's no justice from that. They're just, you get charged, you get labeled as something, and then time goes by and they go, oh, you got lied on, so what? You get people, you've got people who've gotten fired from their jobs behind that type of like harassment or whatever. Nothing's happened. So what happens is you start seeing people take the law into their own hands. You got people who've gotten their cars and homes destroyed, and just they go, oh well, it's not a big deal. It's like, okay. Now then it gets worse when you have situations where you have people fighting for the custody of their kids out of safety, and then you tell those people, it's not a big deal, and the kid winds up hurt or worse. And people don't realize you've created a lot of enemies. You have soldiers who fight for the country, and then the fact that they're a soldier is held against them in court because you have the possibility to be violent. You have police officers, same thing. You might uphold the law for some other, for the other citizens, and you might be complicit in jamming another man up in this type of scenario. But then all of a sudden you get in court. There's no leniency. There's no taking that in consideration. You're just another cog in the system we're going to run over. Um, you got people who are lawyers, who wind up in that system, and it's like, oh, all the law school doesn't help them. All the connections don't help them. It's just like, oh, okay. Then you have people that are, different occupations, and they get railroaded, and nobody cares. You got people who aren't the father, who pay child support for the kid because they've been made the father, and the guys don't get the money back. They're still paying child support. The actual father is off scot free. The mother collects all the money. The kid's not his. So what? And you have too many of these situations, to the point where I think all these people in the system don't realize you've created a lot of enemies, and it's getting bad because you're seeing more mothers get attacked. You're seeing more children get attacked, and that sucks. Because guys just don't want to be a part of it. But what you think is gonna happen next? Like, y'all really don't put in two and two together. Like, you know, the amount, like, you don't know how many you treated people like an enemy for no reason, and you try to destroy people for no reason. Really? You were unfair to a bunch of people, and you think you don't have enemies out here, and you do it day in and day out, and you've done it to so many people. Y'all don't check on what you did. Like, family court is not like criminal court where a person might have to go be on parole for a while or something. They have to check in to, the state checks in to make sure they're still on the up and up. It's not like that. They make a rule in the family court. It is what it is. There's no checking up on it. So whatever happens, happens. You know, and you don't realize how many lives have been ruined by that unfairness, and how wild people are going to get. Because if the truth be told, and the reason I have to say this is because people have got a passive way of not getting involved. That's why you see a lot of people in society not having kids. The rate of having children is going down. People don't want to have kids because they don't want to be caught up in this type of situation. They were the kid in this situation. We got generations basically, grandpa, you know, grandpa, son, you know, yeah, grandpa, child who's a parent now, grandchild, who's a parent now. So, grandpa, child, grandchild, who've been through this already. And now the you could say I could have said it in great grandson, but that's too much. But that's true because my grandfather went through it also. So grandfather, father, child, it would be me. And at some point my son probably would, it's unfortunate, could go through the same thing. And you don't realize people stop having kids because of that. People are not interacting, people are not dating because they don't want to go that far down the rabbit hole. And people are crashing out because they're sick of the unfairness. And this happens in every industry. There comes a moment where people start going off. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have, judges abusing their power. And I've said it, like, you have lawyers abusing their power. You have, clerks abusing their power. You have police officers abusing their power. You have CPS workers abusing their power. And you've seen some of these people actually get into physical altercations with people about this. So I just had to make a video about, when I updated, I had to make a video about this because this is probably going to get worse because people feel like there is no actual justice in the court system. So they're just going to go about it their own way because, there is nothing, it's a one-sided thing where one side can break all the rules, that's including the legal system, and the other side just has to take it. And then one side, which I meant with all of those people, they get to go home. CPS workers was beating and abusing kids. The video, father choking a guy about that. Cops, getting involved, in cases because they were dating somebody. People got touched up behind that. Because some people were able to go at people by ruining their careers, and some people actually had to get at them. The judge who got caught sleeping with, the mother, so she could win the case. I think he got disbarred. I think so. But they had to take that to the news. But what happens with all these other people? They just walk off scot-free. People are not going to take that as well. They're not. You find out your judge is a feminist. You find out your judge is racist. You find out your judge, you get them, is a lot of different things, and it's not in your favor, and that's their MO to do that. You find out your lawyer just tanked your case because of whatever reason. There's going to be repercussions, and people don't want to hear that, but unfortunately, I gotta say it because it's just common sense. But take it as you will. Go on to the next one. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it again.